Hi everyone. It was 1 year ago I started my YouTube channel. So I thought, what better way to celebrate than to go back to the original 3 videos I uploaded and tweak them a little bit here and there and do them all over again. So here you are. There's homemade butter, homemade ice cream, and homemade chicken soup. Enjoy. Our first video was on making butter. We're going to do it, but with a little bit of a twist. We're going to make some compound butter. One thing I did with the mixer the last time was use a different paddle. I'm going to try this one. Roughly the same amount of heavy cream. I put in 3/4 of a quart. That's about 750 milliliters. And we mix. Now I put down the towel because the last time, once it got to butter, you end up with buttermilk and it splashed all over the place. So I'm thinking, oh, this is going to stop it. Well, spoiler alert, that didn't really help that much. We managed. So now it's going to take about 5 to 10 minutes to mix on high. I didn't quite have it on high, but you can see the mess. This is from the first video, the mess that I made with the buttermilk splashing all over the place. So my thinking was, this way it's not going to be quite as messy. Well, it wasn't, but it wasn't great. It's still a mess. I wish I had one of the, the covers for that, but with a lot of mixing and a little bit of patience, and I switched the paddles a couple times, the butter ends up coming out. Now I've already dumped about 1.5 cups of buttermilk out when it started splashing. So I was mixing it some more, trying to get the last of the buttermilk out. And you can see at the bottom of the bowl the little remnants of the buttermilk. And that's tough to squeeze out. You literally got to press it out of the butter. And for our purposes right now, it's not a bad thing. So I tried this. I used one of my strainers instead of cheesecloth. Mushed it down. You can see in the pot just how much buttermilk we had. It was quite a bit. I was surprised. And we're going to use that in another recipe, of course. We'll put that aside for now and let's work on our butter. We need some herbs, rosemary, oregano, and basil. So we're going to chop that up fairly small. I could have chopped it up a little smaller. It's okay, it worked. I've never made this before and I wanted to try it. I like all the herbs and I especially like the garlic part. So I don't know how well or how not well it's going to work, but we're going to find out. Now that we've chopped them up, we'll put them aside. And we got to throw some garlic in, of course, because the whole point with this compound butter is it's kind of a garlic herb butter. So I learned this trick many years ago. You take a knife and you smash the garlic and guess what? The top peels off. Of course, for some weird reason, the first one wouldn't come off that great. But we got it. Now we're going to mince it up by hand as best we can. And throw it in. There, look at that. We're going to put that in with the other herbs. There we go. We'll give that a mix. And that's going to go on our butter we just made. So there's our butter. And now the trick with this is we dump it all in and we're just going to fold it until it's all mixed as best we can. It takes a little bit to work it through. But we did. Now here's the trick with plastic wrap. I always have to fight with plastic wrap. I don't get it. It's like one of my foes. But we'll work it through. So we're going to take all that butter we've just mixed together. Yeah, it looks good just like that. And we're going to mush it so it kind of looks like a roll. because there's no way I'm going to use all that, and I want to be able to access it if needed. So let's grab another nicer piece of plastic that's not all full of butter goo and that. We roll it up, and that, my friends, is going to go in the fridge. And it'll be there for when I need it. If I needed to store it longer, throw it in the freezer. Well, next up is ice cream. Well, the first time I made vanilla, real simple. Once again, it's just cream, a little bit of vanilla, and a can of condensed milk. Now, there's lots of ice cream recipes, but if you want to make something really quick, this is the way to go. So the cream's in, and once again, just as with the butter, we are just going to stir this and stir this and stir this. And you can see how it starts getting stiffer. That's only a few minutes. It's really not that long. Now you want it just before it turns to buttermilk, so you don't want it to turn into butter. And once it looks like thick whipped cream, you know you got it. Now, of course, you see my fancy containers because I didn't have 3. We're going to dump in our condensed milk, the whole can, and that mixes all together with our soon-to-be ice cream. And of course, we need some vanilla extract. 2 teaspoons will do. If you want a little more, throw a little more in. So this is going to be our vanilla base ice cream. We're not going to do much more with that, other than I got this brilliant idea. Somehow I wanted Neapolitan. So I'm going to take our vanilla ice cream, or soon-to-be ice cream, and I'm going to divvy it up into 3 bowls. And you can see it does make quite a bit. That's almost 2 cups of, well, it's actually 6 cups of soon-to-be ice cream. So we put the vanilla aside, and now I've dumped the next one back into the mixer because we're going to make chocolate. So I basically just grabbed some chocolate sauce out of the cupboard, dumped in a bunch. I'm not even sure how much I put in, to be honest, but you know, just like when you make chocolate milk. And if it's not enough, throw a little extra in. So we've got it all mixed together. That's our second one, chocolate ice cream. So we'll put the last in. I wanted to make strawberry. I had strawberries in the fridge. We're using jam. Why? Because the strawberries were not so good. Well, we couldn't use them. But we could use strawberry jam. It should work. I'm just not sure how much. That was probably about 2, maybe 3 tablespoons. Give her a good mix. And there we go. It's not as red. I'm sure if I had a red dye, it would look really strawberry-y. But it isn't. But there's our 3 ice creams. Chocolate, vanilla, and strawberry. Great Neapolitan ice cream. Our last video from a year ago is chicken soup. Now, chicken soup is really basic, but if you really want to warm up on a cold winter's day or whenever, it's something simple to do. Into a pot of water goes some salt, and I like lots of chicken. That's actually a lot of soup. That'll last us 2-3 days. So into it goes 2 chicken thighs, and because I had it, I threw in a chicken leg quarter. Those are actually cheaper. It all depends on what you want. I usually use thighs, but they were on sale. So of course you got to get all that fun stuff off the surface as it starts boiling. We're going to turn it down, put the lid on, and let it simmer for 2 hours, and we'll come back. Well, there we are, 2 hours later. Now we just got to dig the chicken out, which isn't hard to do, but you want to make sure you get everything out. So I'll check the bottom just to make sure. Now to it we're adding our mix out of the freezer that I'd already pre-cut and bagged. Carrots, celery, and onions. I love this because if I'm making soup, the prep works almost nil. To it I'm adding noodles, and this is going to make a great chicken noodle soup. So on goes the lid while I tackle the chicken. Get all that meat off the bones. We'll give it a stir. I think this is 15 minutes later-ish. All our veggies should be cooked. Look at how much meat I got off the chicken that we boiled. Yum, oh, that is just beautiful. Alright, once the chicken's in, the only thing left to do is throw some spices in. Of course, we've got some pepper, some garlic, and just because it came out of the cupboard, a little bit of parsley. Now this is of course the time where you want to give it a taste, and it may need salt. A lot of times chicken and or turkey, if you're using turkey, it does need a bit of salt. There's no way around it. So that looks really good. We're going to put the lid on and let it simmer for a bit, and when we're done, check this out. Now that's soup. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this. Happy anniversary to me, and we'll see you next time. Bye for now.